Is it live? Is it live?
From Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City, welcome to the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handgriff, Jimmy Odd, Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Andy Isco with us from Las Vegas. You know, we had our first inquiry into proxies a couple days yesterday. Seems like it's deeper in the week. The circuit contests are on the horizon. Andy, of course, has been a terrific proxy for some of our listeners, and we'll have that going again. He'll be with us today. First class, second class, no class has got a decidedly LSU baseball flavor to it today. This does everything. This is kind of the afterglow.
Speaking of Andy and the contest, they do have a radio row. It's kind of a launch, kind of a promotion that's in August, and so we'll be doing some shows out there from their circa radio row. So it's been fun to get a lot of the guys that we have on regularly and in person, and just gonna go kind of compare notes and network within getting ready for the football season.
Be here before you know it. It's kind of the afterglow. A lot of people getting back into town that were in Omaha. LSU got back yesterday afternoon. Big crowd at the baseball stadium to see them. The official celebration, I guess, is tomorrow night at the box, and we get a little bit of national coverage of this stuff. Outlets that usually don't cover college baseball. Some of the national shows and stuff. You get a little bit of run there. That was good. Even the Empire State Building was lit up.
How'd that happen?
If I had to guess,
how many people in New York paying attention to college baseball?
None.
I mean, the guys on PTI can't even get it right.
Yeah, I would say that the Speaker of the House and the majority of the leader are both from Louisiana, and might have whispered something to a public official in New York somewhere. Just a guess.
And we'll get into that later, but just kind of. There was once a time where they kind of wanted to grow the game, and they were going to order, kind of reward St. John's that was close but not really deserving, try and expand the interest. And, it's kind of a similar situation that Greg Sankey's in right now. I mean, they could pack their bag and roll right now, and they wouldn't be affected at all. The Big Ten and the SEC could go and play their own league.
Yes.
And would they be affected at all? But you're going to lose some national. If you're not included, if your team is not good and if you don't have a team to root for,
right.
Keep in mind right here it brings more people to Omaha, like blows people away that cover it on a regular basis. The Central Feast today, they were blown away. You could just walk right in. When I was in school in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, to a baseball game, they didn't even check for your ticket. And I sat in there in 93, and it was 10-1, Wichita State to LSU fans. And they didn't qualify till 18 hours before, for the national championship game, or 20 hours before, when that Friday afternoon game against Long Beach State. And it flipped around the next day and played a noon first pitch, winner take all. But it wasn't always like this. Why is it? They win. Go to PMAC. Wasn't always like that. They lose.
Right.
Right. And so I just do you want to like keep everybody, at least throw them a little bit of a bone, But I'm cool with the deserving. The top 16. That's good. I'm all right. But if it's close, I don't know.
In the interest of growing the game, I actually think the game has shrunk geographically, but it's grown within its footprint. What I mean by that is,
I don't think there's any doubt.
The game has never been more popular in the Southeast. Up the Atlantic coast, okay.
You know what, too, Charlie? Because you've kind of distributed the wealth a little bit.
Yeah.
Ole Miss got a taste. Mississippi State got a taste.
Yes.
Arkansas's right there.
So in its geographic footprint, it's never been more popular. But you have shrunk the game geographically because California is a shadow of what it once was in college baseball. In this particular year,
who the hell you want from California?
Well,
whether they're out of high school like Ariel or from UCSD.
That exactly. Okay. So you got out of 16 regional national seeds, the 16 host seeds, you had one out of California, and it was near the bottom with UCLA. We've talked ad nauseum about the programs that were prominent for a long time, like Fullerton, and Irvine had a good year, but at Long Beach State that are no longer. Stanford, we did that at the end of the show yesterday. Stanford was a national power for a long time. They're an afterthought now. Their best player has migrated off their team the last 2 of the last 3 years, and we're talking about really draftable guys. The up the coast, Oregon State is still prominent. Oregon is still a good program, but we're talking about 2 or 3 programs in the entire West Coast. The Pac-12 has dissipated. And, okay, so maybe we saw that coming when USC and UCLA left the Big Ten, left for the Big Ten, and that the conference was imploding. The Big 12 did not have a host site this year. This, to me, is the bigger story because this is Texas.
Well, Texas would have been there.
And
would have been there one.
Correct. This is Texas and Oklahoma. This is now Arizona, which is a baseball. At least they've got some legacy there. Yes, cyclical is a good word. Yeah.
But dated, yes. With the USC, it was USC and Arizona State with
Rod Dato.
Dato and Brock.
Yeah.
But Arizona was right there,
in
the 70s.
They were.
And won some titles.
Arizona was right there 5 years ago when Jay Johnson was the coach. 8 years ago, where they played for the national championship.
Well, how often did they go? Once every 10 years or so?
Johnson got them there twice in 5 years, but he's a special coach. I think we can understand that. So is the next coach going to get them there twice in 5 years? No, probably not. When you say the Big 12 champion, okay, this is a pretty big league, and there's some pretty good baseball schools in there. The Big 12 champion is not even one of the top 16 teams. I would say that you've shrunk the game a little bit. When Coastal Carolina and Southern Miss are host sites, and the champions, whether it be Texas this year, West Virginia, Baylor has had a great deal of baseball. When those teams aren't even in the top 16, you go, okay, we're shrinking this even further into the southeastern part of the United States, and even the Big 12 is having a hard time. So, listen, you're getting sellout crowds in Omaha, a huge thing there.
Well, you've already sold out.
Yeah, but you've got attendance.
Omaha's going to make sure of that, Charlie.
Yeah, attendance. Okay, attendance at the SEC and ACC schools is fantastic.
It is. It's just the environments, man. Are pretty damn cool, man. Those regional games and super regionals on campus got some juice. They really do.
Yeah.
So, but look, you can't. I mean, we're never going. Hockey's never going to grow here.
No.
So I mean, as far as the semester, it's split geographically, and so you're always going to have that. So it's just going to be geographical. But California they can play, but. Where are you going to do? You're going to go and spend 3 years at the Howard Johnsons or, the Four Seasons and make a little money too.
And if I'm the UCLAs and the USCs and the Oregons of the world, I wonder how good can I be? Because I got to play a Big Ten schedule. Okay, I got to play Iowa. I got to play Indiana. I got to play Michigan State. How good can I really be? Can I win a national championship in that league? Maybe. And for Oregon State, it's going to be a different question when they reconfigure the Pac-12, which is basically going to be the Mountain West Plus. Can I win a championship out of that league? And I think the answer is yes, because I watched, again, I'm dating a little bit, but the Fullertons of the world never had a very good conference. It's not like there were 6 or 7 teams coming out of Fullerton's league or Long Beach's league that were in the tournament. They had good baseball there, but they didn't have, 5 or 6 teams in the top 20. I think you still can, but I think it's harder. I think it's a lot harder.
And let's say California gets back on track. It's still going to be limited in its growth because they're covering. It's so down the list on the things they cover in major league markets.
Yeah, it is.
The Dodgers and Angels, you're not getting it there, man.
And if you're Stanford, okay, can you compete in the ACC, given, look, the baseball teams, I'm sorry, they just travel a lot more than the football teams. The football teams can make one trip cross country, maybe 2, where the baseball teams got to make 4 or 5.
I don't know how long of a shelf life they actually have in the ACC. They can't. They could just go off and be a secondary athletic program, which it is now, and just save the damn money and move in back to the Pac-12 or something.
Cal was 6 inches away from disbanding baseball when they made that run 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. So what you're saying is not even a little bit far-fetched. And can you really expect a baseball team to, go back and forth that many times and be, play at your peak? That's a lot to ask. And we're talking about one of the old blue bloods in Stanford, who was, multiple national championships.
Was LSU, say, after this time last year, Tennessee wins one. Mm-hmm. LSU was still the best baseball brand, or was it being threatened, or? Still, it's there. I can only see somebody be like kind of getting close. But boy, this guy's hard to beat, man.
Yeah,
with the resources, all resources and hard work, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, I don't think LSU's brand ever fell off the top rung. The brand, okay, the fan support was always there. The talent was always there. They never fell off, into where they weren't making a tournament or they were just traveling every year. I mean, even in, I realized the program slid a little bit at the end of Maneri, but they still made super regionals his last 2 seasons. Okay, so it's not like they fell off the cliff. They're not as good as what they got now, obviously, but they never fell off to where, oh my gosh, they're not even making a tournament.
Yeah, but how many people outside the Southeast turn it on when he gets to the College World Series? You get a little bit more boost there.
Yes, you do.
You do.
I won't argue with that.
Maybe it's because I did more shows nationally, handicapping college baseball, College World Series, ever. Our friends over at Visa were there, and it was their first, a lot of them first trip, and they've got a platform, and they were doing more. I mean, I've never heard Mad Dog do College World Series updates during their sports bite.
No.
It just seemed like it.
This is a new audience. Because even when sports gaming was approved, the college baseball stuff had to kind of be phased in. Remember the first year we were getting some games, then we started getting more games and more games and more games, and now there's even some places where you can do in-game betting that wasn't available at the beginning of.
Oh,
this.
Yeah, no.
So you have brought a new audience that wants to wager.
Charlie, it's growing on the gambling platform nationally.
Yeah.
It's kind
Think about from the first year that
coming along.
Online wagering was, mobile wagering was available in what you could bet on a college baseball game compared to this year.
Right? No, and they're not just doing that. And a guy like Derek Stevens from Michigan,
yeah,
but he is big into trying to grow the sports gambling aspect of college baseball.
It's not an insignificant thing because
you don't have a dog in a fight. You throw something down. You do it responsibly. You're adding people, adding eyeballs. I mean, something that kind of slipped through as we're trying to figure out if the SEC is going to bend and go to non-conference games, or we're going to get 4 automatics, or what's going to be the playoff format and everything else. Well, they just slipped in there. Oh, at the playoff, you are required to submit an injury report. That's for one reason and one reason only.
Yeah, that's right. So that
to try and eliminate the
corruption.
Yes. Make it available to everybody.
That's it.
Make it available to everybody.
That's it. We're here at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City.
Yes, indeed, man. In the Crown Town room. Don't worry about the heat outside. It's always cool. That AC works really good here in the Crown Town room. So Scotty over here, he's rubbing it in his Arkansas pot in his face a little bit. So, it's always a good time. So, man, just kind of getting back into the grind of things for the summertime, as we're going to do a lot of football recaps here. The LSU National Championship run, all kinds of fun stuff. Interested to hear people's stories as well. We'll have Andy Isco later on today. But Doe's Eat Place, the great thing is these menu items, it's complete. We have menu items for lunch that are not available for dinner. For dinner, we know you're hunkering down. You're getting a big steak. You can share a big, the porterhouse for 2. if you want, or you can do your own ribeye or your own filet, whatever, or strip, hand cut daily. Hand-cut fries, all the sides are outstanding, great wines and specialty cocktails to have a great meal. And, of course, start off with the tamales. But during lunch, we've got po' boys. You can create your own chicken sandwich or po' boy or burger with all kinds of different toppings. We've got the meatballs and spaghetti, the chicken fried steak, the hamburger steak, fish platter. That's all available for lunch only as well. Salads are great as well. We like to do the grilled shrimp salad, the club salad, or the grilled chicken. Blackened chicken is one of my go-tos with that little aioli that they put on top of it, fully dressed. It's good stuff. Great menu items for lunch, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. over here at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Annie Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Doe's Eat Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886 or workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And today's show is also brought to you in part by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff for years have helped our family. Whether you got back pain, neck pain, soreness, things that are keeping you from getting around or maybe costing you a good night's sleep, let their staff pinpoint those problem areas and get you to feeling better. They may get you into an exercise and stretching program that'll loosen some things up, but they can also go to the dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, all of those things that can get you to just feeling a little bit better, get you feeling back normal. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. I gotta tell you, I admire the NBA's commitment to vacation time, Jimmy. When we had the pandemic, one of the things that came out of it was, hey, you know what? This is a really good idea that the season ends in August. You know, that you can have playoff basketball through the month of July and August and really fill a void in the calendar. And you move the beginning of the season back to either Christmas Day or even New Year's Day or right after New Year's Day and play it like that so you have as minimal competition with the NFL as possible. And the NBA said, nope, we want our summer vacations. So what happens? The NBA Finals concluded Sunday night. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow's the draft. you got no. It's like, hey, can we have our parade in Oklahoma City on Wednesday? No, we got the draft on Wednesday. Sorry, we can't do it that day. Mm-hmm. We got to be done with this so that we can get on to free agency, which starts next Monday, so that they can finish it up that weekend, so that everybody can go on vacation for 2 months. They're serious about this stuff. It's like, you guys in Oklahoma City, man. You celebrate on your own time. We got the draft tomorrow night, so it's kind of you want to talk about turbocharging the turbo speed the calendar straight from the finals to the draft in just a couple of days. And this is not the first year that's
it hit them right over the head during COVID when you had to adjust. And say what you want, but there's a lot of things in life and business, and things are handled differently. I mean, how many more meetings can we do remote? I mean, it just there's so many things. And, man, they benefited so much from extending the season into a dead period. Why in hell? I mean, Major League Baseball, middle of the year, it's 162 games. I mean, it is way less to compete with than football. And nobody. And I'm sorry, but I can find things, places in October and November where the weather is just fine to go on vacation,
especially on their paycheck.
Yes.
you can go wherever you want.
It makes no sense, man. I mean, it's poor leadership. I mean, no, they could adjust. They're going to benefit. This is in your best interest. This is what leadership does. No, the younger people, they don't want to really do it. No, but this is in your best interest. No, you're going to get an education. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. I mean, you parent or you lead. I mean, it's so dumb.
Okay,
dumb.
Do we? I want to ask this question. I think I know what your answer is going to be. We talk about how sometimes the national media jumps into college baseball at the end, where it's like, hey, look, man, you're out of your lane here. We don't pay very much attention to the NBA at the beginning of the regular season.
There's no way I can.
Almost none, okay? Are we missing the boat whereas in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, maybe even Miami, that the NBA in November and December is just fine, where those houses are packed, everybody's watching, and this is what they want. They don't want the fans now, okay, in these major media markets. They want to follow the NBA in November and December and not in July and August. Is that a question? Fair
Tell
question?
Me Chicago's not a football town?
I think Chicago's a football town. You've been there way more than me, but the Bears haven't been good in a while.
They still get excited every year.
They do. Maybe they finally found a quarterback.
No,
I'm asking a question. Are the Knicks a bigger story in November than the Jets or the Giants? I don't think so, but I'm not there. The Lakers are always going to be a bigger story than the Rams in Los Angeles. They just are because they're the Lakers. But is that just one specific interest.
Not enough. No.
The TV ratings bear out that's not the case.
The
NFL squashes everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I mean, and the TV runs everything.
Yeah.
And no, you're gonna get stronger ratings if you moved the start and the end, just shifted it. A month and a half, 2 months, whatever it is in that range, and they would benefit. They would have more eyeballs on their product. Period. We talked about forever, Charlotte. When do they really see unofficial start to the season?
Christmas Day.
Yes.
Yeah. And the NFL looked and said, "Hang on.
Yeah,
we want that. We get out of our way.
But you could still do it, and you could still. But they had that to themselves and wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But when the COVID hit it, and look, at least Silver recognized with the All-Star game is such a dud, and it's so unwatchable, and it took a lot of former players, to just, hey man, this is a joke. Okay, somehow, some way we could do better than this. I understand these guys are not going to grind, and boom, the hockey came across and said, "Oh, let's do it." Hit them over the head. They didn't respond when they had to move for COVID.
My faith in the ownership of the New Orleans Pelicans is at an all-time low right now. We love Miss Gale as a person, humanitarian, all that stuff, but as an NBA owner, she's at very close to the lowest batting average here of recently for a bunch of reasons, coach, GM, etc. But Max, you got a betting favorite on number 7 tomorrow night. The mocks are shaking up a little bit. There's more than one player that's in spot here. You got one that you like?
Well, there's one who's the odds-on favorite right now, at least at the DraftKings Sportsbook, to go number 7. Now the Pelicans could trade out of the pick. They acquired the 23rd pick, remember, with the Pacers earlier last week, which now that trade doesn't look as good because the Pacers maybe aren't as strong. Remember, they gave up the Pacers' next first-round pick next year, so that looks a little bit worse now that Halliburton.
They didn't know Halliburton was going to blow out his Achilles.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's a little unfortunate, once again, with injuries for the Pels. But Jeremiah Fears, the Oklahoma guard, is plus 180 right now at DraftKings to be the number 7 pick. That would be where the Pelicans pick as of now. Your guy, Malawach from Duke, the big, is the second choice. But one of the mocks that we're starting to see a little bit more of, if Trey Johnson were to fall from Texas, you could see him go here, a guard, a shooter as well, maybe more of a pro-style shooter. And then if you really want to go off the beaten path a little bit, somebody who's maybe falling down draft boards, maybe this is smoke, maybe this is nothing. Ace Bailey, the Rutgers forward, or guard really, 6'10", player. It kind of compares to a Brandon Ingram a little bit in the way he plays. He's more of a rebounder than Ingram was, I think, coming into the NBA. But if we see Ace Bailey, who there are some questions about off the court, if he's mature enough, he's very young, coming out of Rutgers, maybe we could see him fall to the Pelicans. But right now I think the favorite is, I think deservedly, Jeremiah Fears.
I like Fears. I think he's a real talent. You're going to have to wait on him probably a little bit. He's 18 years old. He doesn't turn 19 until, I think, into the first month of the season, or maybe it's right before, the month before the season. He's 175 pounds. So there's talent there. There's no question. And I think he's going to grow into it. But from an age standpoint, an experience standpoint, and a size standpoint, he's going to get knocked around a little bit. So
he's 18 now.
He was. I think did I not hear that he was the youngest player in the SEC, starting player in the SEC last year.
Right.
He was 17, I think, when the season started last year. So he's younger, okay, which is no big deal. But you may have to wait on him a little bit.
Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive. K&M Automotive on Siegen Lane, Siegen near Perkins, right across the street from Ambrosia Bakery. That check engine light comes on. Don't know what's going on? We'll figure it out. tires need to get changed, no problem. We'll change those out. We'll find oil change, air conditioner work, whatever it is. You can bring it over to K&M Automotive. It's the only place I take my vehicle. Jason Payne going to give you an honest deal. No horror stories of getting upcharged for unnecessary work at K&M Automotive. Segan Lane, 8445 Segan Lane, near Perkins, across from Ambrosia Bakery. They're open 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
He was 17 when they started practice. He turned 18 right before the start of the season at Oklahoma last year. He would turn 19 a couple of weeks before this NBA season starts. Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Looking for a driving experience that goes beyond the ordinary? At Genesis of Baton Rouge, luxury is more than just a word. It's our promise to you. From cutting-edge technology to premium craftsmanship, Genesis vehicles are designed for those who demand excellence. Whether it's performance, comfort, or style, we offer it all, tailored just for you. At Genesis of Baton Rouge, your journey starts with a personalized buying experience. Let us introduce you to the future of driving. Visit us today at Genesis of Baton Rouge, where luxury and performance meet, on Airline across from Women's Hospital, or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Knocked around a little bit.
Heading out To Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
Andy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing. You guys are as well. Congratulations on your eighth championship in the College World Series and dismantling of crybaby Coastal Carolina team.
How long we've been doing this social media stuff, Charlie? The Twitter accounts and stuff like that.
Too long.
I mean,
10, 15 years, something like that.
So they, some people were like texting me like some memes of the guy with the coach in a bib. They had the guy pictured with like 100 Jello shots with the Rocco sign in behind. Just really juvenile, childish, cheap fun. Just kind of. I never got more feedback on social media posts. I'm talking about 12 years of doing this, 15, Charlie, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, 15 years combined, Andy, what I did with this sophomoric stuff. So, yeah, a little fun, but also a little bit of, just a reminder what some of the social media can be. Andy, it was. What did you think, though? Did you watch the game when they tossed him early? What did you think of that whole thing?
I saw the replay, and there are pitches in every game that are very questionable. Sometimes they're very obvious. You accept it, especially since it's early in the game. I mean, you can overcome something like that if you're a good team. And sometimes, psychologically, you have to wonder what effect it has on the rest of the team. They're thinking about something that happened 6 innings ago, and they're playing inning number 7 or 8.
Charlie, did we get any information if he's calling the plays, how involved he is? I'm sorry, the pitches, because
he doesn't call every pitch. He doesn't call the pitches.
Okay,
the head coach does not.
Well, it was when did Morrison start getting hit? Second inning?
First inning.
No, he didn't give any runs the first inning.
No, not
no.
Hit.
No,
he gave up the 2-run single to Stanfield he was gone by that time.
Second and fourth, huh?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as it's called, sometimes you try and do that to fire up your team. It could have been with no way to tell, but this guy was unhittable till he left there, and all of a sudden he can't get out. Can't get 3 more innings in. So. Interesting stuff.
Again, that's on the coaches to calm the kid down and all that and say, hey, yeah, it's a bad break, but we got to play the game, and, especially since it's the end of their season if they didn't come through, which they didn't.
Yeah. How much do you think it's getting bet in Las Vegas? How much juice is it picking up a little bit? It seems like it's every year we bring up this discussion. They say, it's a slow pace, but it seems like, I don't know. I think it's getting a little bit of steam nationally.
I think it is, although it's not getting really the mass coverage, other than maybe on an ESPN, for example, which carries it. Unlike, I'd be curious, and I haven't raised the question, but I'd like to at some point if I get the opportunity. What's the handle on, let's say, the College World Series versus regular season WNBA?
There you go. All right. So, what'd you think of Game 7?
Well, unfortunately, with Halliburton going down as early as he did, it's hard to say how the rest of the game would play out because there was so much, there's so much reliability on him. It's not an excuse; it's an explanation, really, more than anything else. You never know, and the reason I say that is Indiana's shown really throughout the entire postseason that they can come back from double-digit deficits late in games, and so you don't know if they would have done it again. OKC was the team to beat really the entire year, although the Pacers really played great since the start of 2025, and I think they and OKC actually did have the 2 best records in the calendar year thus far, and there's no reason to think that this wouldn't have been another competitive game, as most of them were. I actually I lost a play on the first half. I expected OKC to come out and really take charge early, considering how they were embarrassed in Game 6 in Indiana, and of course the first half. I think the biggest lead either team had was 5, which was basically the line 4.5, 5 for OKC. But that showed a lot of credit to Indiana for even the fact playing more than that quarter, more than just the second quarter without Halliburton, that they were still able to be competitive, but I think it took its toll down the
there's no doubt.
down the stretch.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday again. Look, I mean, what's the chances? Okay, Halliburton sits. He sits, and then and then they lose Game 7. When's the next time he's going to have a chance to be on a team that's one win away from winning a championship? Probably not.
Possibly never.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds would suggest no, because it's so difficult. Now, first of all, this is like the first seventh game of a championship series in the NBA in like 10 years. I think since 2016, I think the Cavs were the last ones to do it. But, everything has to break right. You got to win 3 series just to get to the finals. He'll be a couple of years older because I would think it's unlikely he would play next year unless it was possibly during the playoffs if the Pacers had a legitimate chance to run the table, to win.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, look, we're already receiving some emails, so I'm getting ready to send one of our listeners your contact information. So, looking for proxies. We're going to be in Las Vegas for the Radio Row. That's in August. I think it's week 0. The Thursday and Friday of week 0. So there was that like 22, 23. Week 0 is maybe 24th.
The 23rd I think is Saturday the 23rd.
Yeah, so
which is the week before the start of the season, where we've got the Labor Day weekend and all the big primetime games and all that. So the 23rd will be sort of like our first taste of college football with just those 3-4 games.
Well, Circa is doing their Radio Row again for that Thursday and Friday, the days before that week 0 Saturday, and which could be more and more common. It's another thing that's happening, outside of all the interest on what's going to be the new college football playoff format. But make it just a permanent. You don't have to play FCS team, Hawaii or whatever, or in Dublin. If you want to start your game on week 0. So I'm not sure why more teams don't exercise that now. You can add a bye week in there. But anyway, the just around the corner. You anything different about the contest? It's not just the Circa contest, but any of the Nevada contests you provide your proxy service for.
Well, basically the 2 big properties, the Circa and the Westgate. And the Westgate, the big announcement here, and it's probably known by you guys as well, they're having a college contest at the Westgate this year, a $500 entry fee. You pick 7 games a week. It goes for, I believe it's 14 weeks from the Labor Day weekend through Thanksgiving weekend. I think it's 7 games a week for 14 weeks. So I think it's 98 picks overall. I think you can have up to 10 entries. And I know a lot of people who are in the Golden Nugget contest, which I understand they're not having this year. They say it's postponed, but it may not come back depending upon the popularity of the Westgate contest this year, which I think will be very, very popular. The difference between the Westgate and the Golden Nugget contest is that the Westgate college contest is all college. The Golden Nugget contest has been a combination of college and NFL where you could choose between the two. So I think people are really looking forward to an all-college contest. William Hill had that for a few years. They discontinued about 2-3 years ago. The Westgate actually had one back about 25 years ago, I think, around 2000, 2001. But it didn't go over very well because, of course, there wasn't legalized gambling and at that point nationwide and all that, so it didn't attract the attention. Much like the Super Contest did, it started, I think, in like 1989, and for the most part, until 2010, they would get between 250, 500 entries. ESPN started covering the contest itself in 2010, and the Super Contest entries grew dramatically to over 3,000 by 2018, by which time legalized gambling across the country, legalized sports betting was legalized nationwide for a year or two by then, and of course it's exploded now, and Circa came on the scene to provide competition. So the other big news, the guarantee for the Circa Survivor this year, the $1,000 entry fee, is $15 million. I'm guessing they're going to get around 17.5 as far as the entries go. And, of course, I know the one that you and Charlie are saving up to enter, and that's the Grandissimo, which is the same Survivor contest, but with a slightly larger entry fee They have a guarantee of $1,500,000. They need 10 entries 15 entries at $100,000 each. That's one or two paychecks for you guys, I think.
Jimmy didn't have to save up. That's out the top, man. That's pocket change, right?
$100,000 entry fee might be just a little outside of our reach.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, Westgate is having a more modest high-end Survivor contest. They have the regular Super Contest and the Super Contest Gold. Super Contest, they're raising the fee back from the current $1,000 to what it was for many years, $1,500, in the hopes of drawing a much larger prize pool than they have the last few years since they lost a lot of competition to Circa. The Super Contest Gold is the same type of contest with a $5,000 entry fee. They've introduced this year a $5,000 Survivor contest with an entry fee of $5,000. Winner takes last man standing, basically the Survivor concept that Circa is using. The other thing is that they are no longer having that reboot contest that they had for 2 or 3 years, but the Westgate is still having the regular contest. Is having the 11 mini in-season contest. So you got several opportunities to win. Let's say if you're off to a bad start and you hit the right weeks in the middle of the season. 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9-week contest.
That's good. That might interest a lot of people in our area. There's a lot of people that bet college football around here that don't bet any NFL. It's flipped. From a lot of the different
and by
NFL
the way,
markets.
The Survivor entry, a lot of people are going to remember last year where like 90% of the field was eliminated with all those upsets the first 3-4 weeks of the season. Keep in mind, and I think the Circa is able to put together people if you're looking to sell part of your entry or something. Your entry, by the middle of October last year, each entry had an implied or imputed value because of the remaining contestants were so small of like $25,000, $30,000, and people were able to do that. So what a lot of people are doing or have been doing the last couple of years, they are buying multiple entries with the anticipation that if they can last 8-9 weeks, they can get a good portion of their entry fee back either by selling the entire entry or by selling a portion of the entry that remains alive. Now, of course, as far as the Circa is concerned, all the winnings that would be paid would go to the entrant who signed up. So you got to make sure if you're doing it with your friends, they're really good friends or family members or whatever, because I don't know that they could have any sort of legal binding contract as far as that goes.
We're glad we can contribute to the value for those that were still around. I
contributed last year to it. Not quite as early, but
you remember what I said? You remember what I said in week 2, Jimmy? I said, look, if the Raiders beat the Ravens in Baltimore, I'll be able to live with it. I'll be okay with that. You know what? I wasn't.
There you go.
I wasn't. I was still steamed.
Golly.
The Raiders beat the Ravens in Baltimore. Come on.
It was a fourth quarter rally after the Raiders had done very little. It was the entire first 3 quarters of the game.
Yeah, your boy from Washington State.
Minshew.
Minshew. Yeah, Gardner Minshew. Yep.
Gardner Minshew. And Max told me all day, he says, I don't feel good about your Ravens pick. I don't feel good about your Ravens pick. And he was right. And then the next time, you lost the next night, right, on Monday Night Football?
Next week.
We
made it one more day.
Yeah,
the Bengals lost
right,
that day.
Yeah,
but
so.
Bengals in New England. 1 more week. So Bengals, that was
I think
opening
this
week.
year, I think Denver is going to be a very popular choice if they host Tennessee. I think Washington is going to be a very popular choice as they host the Giants.
Break soon.
Philadelphia would have been a very popular choice hosting Dallas, but it's the Thursday night game. Although, one of the features of the Survivor Contest that started last year, if you lose your entry on the Thursday night or the Friday game in Brazil, you can rebuy your entry. You can rebuy entries because the deadline to enter the contest as a whole is Saturday. So there are people who will buy 10 entries, and they may, probably people who are entering that $100,000 Survivor will buy the 10 entries for regular Survivor and, play all 10 on either the Eagles or, Kansas City San Diego is probably going to be more of Kansas City Chargers is likely to be a much more competitive game. So they might play part of their entries on Philadelphia Thursday night with the ability to buy back, and if they win Philadelphia, at least they know they've got a number of entries alive into week 2.
All right, follow Andy on Twitter at VegasAndy711. Always good stuff, Andy. Thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. All right, don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com for windows, for doors, for siding, shutters. the windows. If your homeowners requires wood windows, you got to call Relief Windows. You get the best of both worlds. They look good, they're functional, and they're built to last. But also the siding. Benefits of high-quality siding, first of all, superior durability. They are long-lasting thanks to its material makeup. Siding is extremely resistant to warping, cracking, damage caused by weather or insects. Lasting color, unlike wood, which needs repainting every few years, our durable vinyl siding and hardy plank options require very little maintenance to keep the colors looking great. And a variety. Selection of siding comes in all kinds of colors and textures that look great and allow you to choose the right look for your personal home. Relief Windows, doors, siding, shutters, 288-8138, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 5, and reliefwindows.com.
Live at Doe's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Thunder Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Jimmy, I know that the McAfee show is usually appointment listening and viewing for you, so I know you were sorry to miss it today when Aaron Rodgers announced his retirement.
He's on right now.
Yeah, at the end of this year. He
said,
"1 year. This is a good way to close it out with Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers."
God, dude, God, just go away.
Well, you now have an expiration.
He's not going away. He's not going away.
You have an expiration date on.
No, he's going. He's going to surface somewhere.
Do you think?
In media,
I actually think that once he retires, he may go away for a while. I mean, if
this guy loves the attention. He's an attention whore.
I run for president, Charlie.
I think
yes, he's going to run for. I mean, it's something.
Peter got hosted Jeopardy. Hey,
you think he's getting out the limelight? I got action on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm hopeful. Yeah. Maybe more hopeful than thoughtful at this point. First class, second class, no class. Coming up, hour number 2 here. Doe's Eat Place live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Tommy Kissinger here with Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. We also do gutters, patio covers, and screen rooms. Give us a call for your free estimate today and visit our website, GEAUXTommies.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
And a return here at Doe's Eat Place, live at lunch. First class, second class, no class. We start out on a sad note. This just came through a little while ago on the passing. We send our condolences out to the family of Dave Nits, the Hall of Fame broadcaster who passed away this morning at the age of 82. Dave Nits called Louisiana Tech game for 50 years. Football, baseball, basketball. He called women's basketball. He spent 36 years. I didn't realize it was this long. 36 years calling minor league games in various organizations. Started with Baltimore back in the 1970s. Nits retired at the end of last baseball season in 2024. But by the estimates, he called, get this, Jimmy, 4,500 Louisiana Tech games in various sports. Now that's a career. He's in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Obviously, he's in the Louisiana Tech Hall of Fame. He passed away today at 82 after a long illness. On a personal note, Dave Nits was extremely nice and very helpful to me when I call games up in North Louisiana. He was over in Shreveport when LSU played against Centenary. And he helped us out in the press box and all those things whenever he would come down, with Louisiana Tech when LSU played. Up there, he was invaluable to me setting up the stadium up there at the beginning of the season. So a Hall of Fame career, and you won't find anybody that in our business that did not have the utmost respect for Dave Nits, and he passed away today at the age of 82. So. That's a legend.
It was 25, 30 years ago. They used to play the La Tech games on here locally. Maybe WIBR 1300, now defunct 1300 AM. Because there was some
Southeastern games. There were some Louisiana. There were Louisiana Tech football games.
Too.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm listening.
I'm thinking about
Alabama.
Yeah. It was basketball for Southeastern, but it was football. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I enjoyed listening to him. I mean, there's a lot of compiling there, and a lot of big numbers over time. But he's just one of those classic Southern football.
Yeah.
I mean, just a really cool sound, man. Really, really good. I know, of course, one of our contributors for over 30 years, Mike Delicano, he played at Tech. I mean, he's always talked highly of him, too. So he's good. It was good. And and listen, it's one of those things where play-by-play guys, it can be so subjective. I've got some fundamentals, which are, you don't really go to play-by-play school. But there's some fundamentals on calling play-by-play that I feel very strongly because I just listened to so much, and he was good. He was good. I mean, I enjoyed listening to him.
And he was as big a part of the Louisiana Tech community as anybody that has gone through there. So our condolences out to the family of Dave Nits as he passed away at 82. First class, Dave Nits. Also first class to what we witnessed in Omaha the last couple of weeks. And listen, there's a lot of different ways I could go about this, but I heard a stat yesterday that kind of crystallizes it for me, and it was the stat that Jay Johnson has won his second national championship of the super regional era, which goes back to 1999. There's 5 other coaches that have won 2. And you tell me what all of the guys on this list have in common. Jim Morris at Miami, Augie Garrido, the late Augie Garrido at Texas, Pat Casey at Oregon State, Ray Tanner at South Carolina, and Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt. Those are the other coaches that have won 2 national championships in the super regional era. All of those gentlemen are either in or will be in the Hall of Fame. Jay Johnson came here and took over a program that has the biggest of big expectations. You can put it with Kentucky basketball and Alabama football. It's not as big, I get, nationally, but for the local fan base and that baseball community, which I know very well, the expectations could not be higher. When you finish in the top 10 in the season and you say, well, get them next year, where it's a career year for anybody else. Recruiting, in-game managing, hiring of staff that I think sometimes gets overlooked. He's done a great job when he has lost coaches, multiple head coaches off of his staff just in the short time that he's been in LSU. Dealing with those expectations, and it's not always the easiest thing. The fans, I've said many times, LSU baseball leads the nation in media. Control of the team. You never hear about any of these kids ever getting in any trouble. There are coaches that excel in certain aspects of it and have to work on other things. Jay Johnson has aced them all, and it's really hard to do. We talked about the work ethic. We talked about, handling the expectations, and just when you talk about right after the game, getting on the phone and texting recruits. I mean, I hate to keep bringing the name up, but that's Saban territory there. And he's 48 years old. There's no telling how long a run that Jay Johnson will have here, but what we've seen so far has been as impressive as it gets. Check all the boxes, no holes in the resume, whatever you want to call it. Jay Johnson's got it all, and now he's got his second national title. So first class to me for Jay. Something we've said this a lot in the last couple of days, but just kind of to put a bow on it for me.
All the resources, hard work. I mean,
you get.
I'm sorry, because not everybody on the damn campus is a hard worker.
No,
you got a new landscape of things now. He's got an embarrassment of riches, but you know what? With high resources come high expectations. Is he okay with it?
Embraces it, as a matter of fact.
He embraces it. So there's some places that your GOAT, your former coach with all the success, kind of around the program, that can kind of throw that coach off or be a distraction. What does he do?
Embraced
Come on, Coach.
Embraced
Come on, Coach. Coach coming over, say something to the team after? Yes, indeed. We're privileged. That just all these little things just because he works his ass off. Yep. But also he's had to. How does he know? How does he know that his lead recruiter would be just he knows his work ethic? He's put some guys together that aren't afraid to work too.
No, so Jordan came over from Duke, where he had established a reputation as a tireless recruiter. Yeski he had worked with before at Arizona, so he knew him personally. But he's shuffled through multiple guys here. That 3 other coaches just in the 4 years that have gone on to head coaching jobs other places. And the latest, Wes Johnson at Georgia, is a national seed. This guy, this guy knows how to hire, and that's not always automatic. He's like, well, you get the most money, you get the most budget, whatever, you go out and hire whoever you want. That's not true. And
no.
Even if you get who you hand pick, it might not work out. All this has worked out for him.
Well, that's true, but also it's going to, when you're highly successful, people like to hire people off of successful staffs.
Sure.
Period. So
and who would want to come to LSU?
As they achieve, team goals, your staff's going to get poached more. Who dealt with more turnover in the staff than Saban at Alabama?
Nobody.
And
listen, whenever you lose a coach as an assistant to go be a head coach at a prominent program somewhere else, to me, that's a positive for your program. Okay, if you get a guy that is highly coveted somewhere else, it means he's really good, and it also means that the next guy you get is going to be highly coveted because he's going to say, well, every assistant coach we've ever met, with very few exceptions, wants to be a head coach.
Sure.
And so where else could you have a bigger springboard as an assistant coach to become a head coach than LSU?
No, of course.
That's a top one. Second class, I boil this down to one of players on the current team that I think have a real what I would call a difficult decision to make on what they're going to do in the future. I think I've got a pretty good handle on everybody except one. There's one that I think has got a real decision to make, and that's Ethan Fry. Fry had a good year. He had 331. He had 13 homers. He hit at the top of the lineup. He was uber hot toward the end of the season. Then he cooled off a little bit in the Super, and then came through with some big hits in the College World Series. He was a DH, for almost all of this season. Right now, MLB.com and their prospects, and this is not, gospel, but it's a good idea, has him at 130 in their draftable prospects for this year. That puts you about the end of the fourth round. Could he come back next year and improve his draft stock? I think he's got a lot of comps to Jared Jones, who had a similar decision to make at the end.
They look alike.
At the end of last year. They said, Jones, do you want to come back? And, he wanted to come back and be a major cog in the national championship team. He was on the 2023 team but didn't play very much towards the end of the season. He decided to come back. He is now the number 99 prospect.
Where was he last year?
About where Fry is now. Okay.
Modest.
What's the difference between 130 and 99 in actual dollars? In the slot dollars, $200,000. Okay, plus whatever you get in NIL to come back. Okay,
what do you think of that is?
Probably about the same. Probably somewhere in that area. Okay,
so
somewhere between
$400,000.
So yeah, ish. Okay, maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe I'm underestimating the NIL stuff. I don't know. They got to talk to him, but is it worth coming back for another year? And I think Fry has more upward mobility than Jones did.
He can run.
He can run is the first thing. But the second thing is Jones had played first base last year. Fry hasn't played a position yet, full time. He's been about 90% DH.
Well, he needs reps.
He needs reps. And I think if you put that guy in left field and you let him be your left fielder next year and he has similar offensive numbers but he shows he can competently handle a position, I think he could ascend up the draft boards more than Jones did. Now, power hitters are coveted. Somebody could fall in love with this guy and take him earlier than we're expecting. But so I think it's good with a chance to be great. If Fry goes pro, hey, best of luck to you, young man. If he comes back, he'll be right in the middle of that lineup and probably in left field every day. And I'm just kidding. He could play some first base too. But
this is where NIL, you're starting to see a little bit of a pattern, Charlie. Tommy White came back for another year. Jones came back for another year.
White didn't come back for another year. He went after 3.
He went after 3?
He went after 3.
I thought he came back one more year.
No, he played 1 year at NC State and 2 years here. So he went as soon as he could. He wouldn't have had any leverage had he
So
come back.
His second year in college was the national championship year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In 23.
Okay. He wasn't draft eligible.
He was not. No, he was a
3-year
guy. 3-year guy. So, it's the best of luck to Ethan Fry, whatever he decides. I'd love to see him back.
Before this would be just like, yeah, come on, man, it's pipe dream. No, you got a chance. And I mean,
we try not to do the pipe dream stuff like, the guy's a top 15 pick. He's gonna go. No, he's not. Okay, the Anthony Ianson stuff earlier in the year. Well, he's gonna come back. No, he's gonna go pro, and he should. By the way, Ianson could very well easily get into the back end of the first round. If not, he's going to be in the compensatory pick. Yeah,
for months. So he's only had better appearances.
Just improved and improved and improved. So I think Fry's got a decision to make. I don't think it's a slam dunk either way. I don't think there's a bad decision either way. Hopefully
That's
he
fair.
can. Yeah, hopefully he can make it. Hopefully he can make it back. No class. Can I write this and send it to somebody important that can make this? If you get hit by a ball and that ball is in the batter's box, you may go to first base. I don't care if you do the Macarena in the batter's box. If you are in the batter's box and the ball hits you and the ball is in the batter's box, I don't care if your hands are over your head. I don't care if you're touching your toes. I don't care if you turn around and let it hit you right square in the backside. You are going to first base. All of this crap about here comes a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that's coming in on you, and you turn to protect yourself, and your elbow happens to drop 3/4 of an inch, and they're going to call you for moving into. Stop it. Just stop it. This is not the way the rule was intended. I don't want to hear about letter of the law on this thing because it's not the letter of the law. The rule was put in to keep you from leaning over into a pitch over the plate, outside of the batter's box. You get hit in the batter's box, the ball is in the batter's box, you go to first base. I'm done. that was it. It's been bugging me all weekend.
Well, that too. But, I mean, look, Mr. Angel, he got to get some no class, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so Bush League, man. When you become the story, you are not doing your job. And you went out of your way to do the job.
You know his name today. Did you know his name?
Yes, exactly.
Did you know his name last Friday?
Angel Campos. No, I did not know who the hell he was. Then you found out that he was demoted as a major league umpire. How many major league umpires are demoted? Pretty strong union. Well, I can rip them off in one. Angel Campos. We've learned way too much about you since Sunday. And you know what? If you're and there were a lot of people. You see the fans going crazy when he got tossed. I mean, the LSU fans. It was almost like the Saints fans erupted when Clark retired or something. I mean, it was something. I mean, they were going crazy. Did it help LSU win that game? I don't know. No way to prove it. Well, as soon as he left, his ace pitcher, all of a sudden, who was unhittable at Auburn, on the same mound, he just kind of came a little unraveled. Not sure. No way to prove it. Were they about to get to him anyway? Don't know. But what it does do, and this is why LSU fans should be upset too, because it detracts away from the tension of LSU winning the championship.
Yeah.
Because this has gotten so much, as much of the conversation when they recap the national championship clinching game. Him tossing the head coach for Coastal in the first inning, which in a College World Series, tell me if I'm wrong, it's never happened before. So you're doing something in the first inning, it's never happened before. You're making a name for yourself. You mean it's just strike after strike after strike of mortal sins of umpiring baseball. No class, bro.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
First class, second class, no class, brought to you by Supreme Rice. We had a really nice meal with our Supreme Rice folks watching the game on Saturday, Jimmy. Remember the jasmine rice, which was what we had on Saturday. We had
stew packs, meatball stew.
Meatball stew. It was terrific. The pawball rice is terrific. The jasmine brown, long grain, medium grain, always a treat when you get Supreme Rice. And we get into tailgating season here coming up. Well, look, you plan those big jambalayas and stuff like that for fall tailgating. Make it with Supreme Rice. Your crawfish etouffees, your stews, your gumbos when the weather gets cold. Supreme Rice since the 1930s down in southwest Louisiana. All of it born, milled, and processed right here in the state of Louisiana. So you're supporting our Louisiana farmers. You're going to save a little bit of money, and you're going to know that they're part of the Climate Smart program, which for future generations of rice farmers is very important. They're reducing methane emissions. They're promoting water conservation. Future generations of Louisiana rice farmers will benefit. Pick it up at all your Walmarts, your Rouses, all your AG food stores, Supreme Rice. And for more information, great recipes, go to supremerice.com. Live at Doe's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Thunder Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show brought to you as well by the Thibodaux Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. You're working on your property this summer. Lots of ways that the Thibodaux store can help you out, from patio furniture and outdoor grills, matching paints, hand tools, power tools, garden equipment, power equipment in the garden. And, of course, if you're doing your cooking, your Cajun cookware can be delivered. You go to the website at thethibodauxstore.com, and that delivery of the Cajun cookware is for free. All your accessories to your big green egg cookers and countless other outdoor kitchen gadgets. You're a gadget guy, right, Jimmy?
Well, you would be too if you did any cooking, Charlie.
Right.
I mean, it is.
I'll try to stay in my lane.
It is awesome, man. The different pots we had, burners outside. The paddles. I mean, you name it for sort of the jambalaya cooks or the gumbo cooks or the pastalaya cooks to your boiled seafood, man. We've got it all for you. McWare, roasters and ovenware and stuff like that. I mean, we just go on and on, man. They got so many different things for outdoor cooking enthusiasts. I mean, tons and all different price points. I mean, some that being like the big ones. I mean, that you're gonna have basically in a trailer and stuff like that. To just something you kind of want to dabble with a little bit to before you really go all in. So it's awesome stuff over at the Thibodeau store. PierrePartsStore.com, DoItBest.com. Thibodeau,
the Thibodeau store.
TheThibodeauStore.com.
And even if you misspell it, we got all of that. Got all that worked out. You guys are value guys. You talk odds all the time. All right, this is what we do on this show, and value is a word that comes up an awful lot. The New Orleans Saints, if you had to be put into a stage of elimination odds, okay? The guys over at BetAG did this, and you have to get into one of the slots, all right? All the way from miss the playoffs up to win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm asking the question because I'm going to attach odds to this, not because of what we think is going to happen. We think the Saints are going to miss the playoffs. We're in agreement on that, Max?
Sure.
You with us? Okay.
Yeah, but if you got go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Missing – I've known you a long time. You don't lay 1,000 very often. Minus 1,000.
No, I'm not going to.
The Saints to miss the playoffs are minus 1,000.
No, there's no way I'm laying that in the NFC South. That's going to happen.
The division could be lousy.
Absolutely.
Okay? And there's a chance that the quarterback from Louisville, Chuck could be good.
Chance.
It's a chance.
Tough assignment for a mid-level rookie quarterback.
Very much. Losing the wild card plus 750. Losing the division around plus 2,800 and up from there.
So you got to lay 1,000, you plus 750?
Plus 750 to lose in the wild card round to sneak into the to wild card. Losing the divisional round is plus 2,800. If you actually made me put some money on one of these things, the value might be in losing the divisional round because they might fall ass backwards into a division title if the entire division stinks.
Well, that's the way they would make it.
Yeah,
they're not going to.
They're not going to be good.
No, but the division is.
What if Baker Mayfield got hurt in week 1?
Yeah, I mean the Bucs are no. The Bucs got a little stability. He's actually got a little bit more dependable, but we know he can go down any second. The division could the Falcons, or let's just put it this way, all of those teams in the NFC South to have a losing record would not combine to 1,001.
Right.
You get lower odds than that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the chances of that. So could they luck out and get a 9-8 or 8-9 record? Absolutely.
You're playing a fourth place. You're playing a fourth place schedule.
You're hosting a playoff game.
Yeah.
And that's still the same, right? The owners hadn't changed that, right?
No, they haven't. They tried. They thought about it. They did not.
That was up for discussion. But that would be the one. I'm not betting these.
No, I wouldn't bet.
I'm not betting these with your money. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't either. But I was just wondering. The question I want to get to, the legitimate question, is because none of us would bet. Max, would you bet any money on any of these?
No, they're 12-1 to win the division. So that's how you can kind of weigh that in as well.
Okay, to win the division.
12-1 to win the division, but plus how much to lose in the divisional round to win a home playoff game?
Plus 2,800.
So times 4. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks beat the Rams on the last week of the regular season, and then beat the Saints at home.
Yeah.
I lost the next week. I mean, you can do it. I mean, Tampa Bay had a winning record this year, but what was their record? The final record.
They were 10-8.
They won a playoff game. They lost in the divisional round.
They were 10-7, weren't they?
I think so.
I think they were 10-7.
No, that was 2 years ago. They won. They beat the Eagles. They did not beat the Redskins. The Washington football team, Commandos, whatever they are.
If the Saints some miracle won a division with an 8-9 record or something like that, wouldn't they be an underdog at home?
But so was Tampa.
Yeah, Washington. If they didn't win the NFC East, would be a road favorite in New Orleans, right?
I mean, we don't know. Washington wasn't a favorite in that game.
In what game?
The playoff game that they beat at Tampa. They were not a favorite.
You're right.
They were not a favorite.
Would they? This is hard because we don't think the Saints are
the
going to win
Eagles
the division.
Were a favorite against Tampa Bay the year before.
Yeah. I guess my point is there are wild card teams that I could see being favored against an NFC South champion on the road in the first round
It's
of the playoffs.
happened just 2 years ago.
So
Yeah.
that could happen with New Orleans.
It
very
would
easily.
happen.
if they win the
Probably.
division, which they're not going to. They're not going to win the division. My biggest question was, what's a legitimate? Because this is a bait bet. This is, hey, we'll throw it out there.
Well, they put stuff on everything. And
Sure.
my goodness, the juice is ridiculous.
What's legitimate for the Saints not making the playoffs? What's a legitimate line? Half that? Minus 500?
Well, what's the odds? The actual odds on it?
What would
instead
it
of
take
like,
for you?
like the
What would it take for you to bet it?
let me rephrase it. The probability of it.
Yeah.
12 to 1 to win the division is 7.7%.
Is 7.7%?
Yeah.
It's lower than that.
Yeah. What would it take for you to bet the Saints are not making the playoffs? I'm confident.
Yeah, to win the division is 7%, and that's. No, I just can't see. I mean, 5%.
Okay.
I mean, it is the NFC South, but we know who's playing quarterback.
Do we?
Oh,
I mean,
you think Nick Underhill's pretty solid?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
And this is before. This is right after the draft.
Mm-hmm.
This was before they could have gone out and gotten another guy too.
Yeah.
This is before what's the name was Carr retired.
Mm-hmm.
Said Shug is trust me, he's starting. He is starting.
Game one. But are you guaranteeing him 17 starts? I mean, yes, at the beginning of the season.
But he's not. He's probably not going to be good. He's a mid-level guy, and no matter he could be great. We've seen really, really good quarterbacks struggle greatly as rookies.
Yeah.
Really, really good ones.
Because I think one way or another,
what is his supporting cast to help him out in a toughest spot? It is hard to play as a rookie.
The offensive line should be better.
I mean, Caleb Williams was what last year? It was like 30th, 31st in QBR.
Yeah, my point is, I think that Spencer Rattler is going to start at least one game next year, if not more than
worse.
one. Well, it might be. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Do we really know who's going to play? Max, what kind of odds can I get for just off the top of your head?
Shug is your starter, Charlie. I'm telling you.
At the beginning, okay.
Oh, were you saying that he struggles? Then go get a Rattler?
Yeah, I'm saying could that happen?
Shug has a chance to be an NFL starting quarterback.
You think Rattler will start any
Rattler
games?
does not have a chance to be. So why, if you're going to be, this guy's got no pressure on him as his first year. I mean, he's going to try and develop this guy who's got more of a skill set.
I don't think everybody in the Saints organization thinks that Rattler has no chance to be a starter.
Okay,
I think the odds are against it. Answer my question first. Do you think that Rattler will start any games next year? Not because of injury. As a legitimate.
No. It would be injury only.
Okay, I think Rattler's got a chance to start.
I mean, it's a chance, but I wouldn't bet. I'd bet against it.
Max,
I'm higher on Rattler than y'all are. I saw some things last year.
Jimmy's at the bottom
really
of the Rattler
bad
thing.
line.
I'm kind of in the middle. I don't think he's going to be a full-time starter, but I think he'll start a little bit.
I also believe in what they have coming in. I like Shuck, and he's a second-round pick. Maybe he can be a Jalen Hurts, Jimmy, in the right offense. I don't know.
I want to give him a chance.
Come on, man.
I want to give him a chance.
I'm not saying it's Jalen Hurts, but a second-rounder.
I want to give him a chance. I think it's a tough spot, but the line should be better.
I think there's signs for just because of how easy their schedule is. Their division's easy. They start off really hard. That's going to be a problem. If they start Shuck, their first 4 or 5 games are the hardest part of their schedule.
It is June the 24th. I am trying very hard to find something with the Saints season that I'm interested in. Very hard.
They drafted Neal from Kansas.
I want to see the quarterback, obviously, but I'm just trying to find something. Please give me some.
But you better be. I mean, you're not surrounding himself with the strongest supporting cast. You better be damn patient. But I mean, he's got it. Rattler does not have NFL size. Does not have NFL arm strength. Does have below mobility. I mean, athleticism. You wanted to try and fudge his numbers that one time a year ago when you were trying to get him excited. And we'll fudge his numbers for preseason again this year to get you excited. So, but he doesn't have he's got one thing, one measurable, 5-star. What's that get you? 5-star. Take that and shove it.
I think the line's going to be better. How's that?
Again, they're in a better position than they were with Derek Carr.
Yes. There's my hope.
Wait. What, in what way?
The program,
the franchise,
not the team,
has
the
franchise.
Because
you're in a better
you got
position.
freed up some money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay. No. Okay. That yes. The team this year when they're
Mickey's got to behave now. Okay, he couldn't hang on the car anymore.
Charlie, he thinks he's doing just fine, buddy.
I'm aware.
Okay, they do have scoreboards for GMs.
They did one yesterday. He was, I think, third from last. They did one of these GM polls.
Worse?
Who did they have? The guy in Indy, which I didn't understand. Ballard. Anyway, let's move on.
Well, don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, man, it's hot. And well, we were talking to one of our sponsors' employees, and he was out of air conditioning for like 2 days. I'm like, what are you doing? Call Total Maintenance, 480-1000, 480-1000. Service today, every day. That's right, same-day service. You call today, you get service today. You'll never sleep hot when you call Total Maintenance. 480-1000. It's one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa, he's a diehard Saints fan, so he'll be down at the Dome again this year. I was at all the memorable games with Lucas back in the day, and we're on this Saints road to the NFC Championship game. Everything from the road back home. From the Falcons game to the Super Bowl run, me and Lucas would go on to the games. Total Maintenance. Well, he's been doing it for that long. He's been in the industry. He's been a tech. He's been a manager. He's been everything. He's been everything of the step of the way. He knows what it takes to provide quality service here in the Baton Rouge area. They've expanded to the New Orleans area for decades now, but not compromising with a different staff and a different office in each the Baton Rouge and New Orleans areas so that they can service without compromise. Total Maintenance, 480-1000, 480-1000.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com. This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. This is Charles Henniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, a chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 1045ESPN.com. New Handycast, final one of the season, will drop this afternoon. Me and Dan Canterbury doing a wrap-up of LSU baseball. It'll be a pretty positive show, I would say, with everything that happened this year. We'll drop that later on this afternoon. You get that on YouTube on the Handycast. Been doing that all year with Dan, and Doug Thompson's been on there for a lot of those. So if you want to do a little bit deeper dive into some of the baseball stuff, we do that on the podcast.
If you're a negative Nelly, don't tune into that one. Otherwise, I think you should.
What's there to be negative now? Yeah, won a national championship. That's a 6 seed. They've been all 8. Have they been national seeds?
Well, there weren't national seeds before 99, so that takes out the first 4. But the 4 other ones.
Well, they were hosts.
They were hosts in all 4 of those years.
They were hosts as in a 48 team. So,
yeah.
so you hosted as a
yeah.
Well, they never won. They never won any that they didn't host then, huh?
No, they've never gone on the road. No, the last time they advanced to Omaha from the road was '89. Now they've won regionals.
But I'm talking
advancing to Omaha from anywhere other than Alec Box. '89 was the last time.
Well, okay, so you gotta be at home. So they were a 9-16 ever and won it.
No. 2000.
So the national seed?
Yeah, they were national seed. The other 4s, yeah.
National seed / host in all 8.
Advancing off the road, the super regional winning percentage at home is still over 70%.
Well, I know, but
overall,
but when they went to Omaha, I think they went 0-2 under Smoke. Like Baylor. I mean, they were, they played A&M one year instead of, going on the road.
Yeah, they got A&M instead of Rice, and they won that
right.
one. They went up there. They've only won one super regional game on the road. I think I got that right. They won the one at Tulane, game 1 in 2001.
They didn't win a series.
No, that's what I said. They won one game.
Whatever, they don't count that, Charlie.
Well,
we're talking about advancing, dog. Come on.
Well, I just told you they didn't advance. So I'm telling you, they won one game. They were 0-2 at Rice. They were 0-2 at Tennessee. And
Alabama 99.
Alabama
that's the first
99.
year.
Yeah, those are your road super regionals. They're 1-6, I think, in road super regional games.
But 0 for 3. Advance.
0 for 4.
0 for 4.
0 for 4. Yeah. So yes, get a national seed. That's the goal every year, the mantra. But no, you said negative. Now, even the most what do we call it? The most negative, the most scrutinizing fan would have a hard time finding anything wrong right now. You just won the national title. You've got a very good core returning for next year.
When were they right at that that cusp, that 8 to 9 national seed? Because that was that after Auburn? Or it's after Texas? Or remember, because it was a little stretch.
When they lost the A&M series, it was kind of close.
Okay.
They were in that 8, 9, 10 range. Yeah, after they lost the series at Texas A&M. And then, even though they were winning, it made for some nervous moments the next damn week when A&M loses 3 games to Missouri and their RPI fell out of tree. That didn't help anything that you had lost the series there, and then they go lose those 3 games to Missouri. So,
there probably is a few negative podcasts. They do it up there, up in Fayetteville. So we know about the drop ball, the blown pop-up on a 27th out in the Virginia series to win it all. Then this one, the series of plays against LSU cost them. Even though we all think our money would be on Anderson to finish them off in the next game, you certainly needed Anderson on Saturday night in a 1-0 game. Clint Storner stumbling.
Oh gosh,
Tennessee.
Oh gosh, that was painful to watch.
We go back to the game that Nixon was at 1 versus 2. That was a pretty crazy over the shoulder catch for Texas.
Yeah,
was that 4th down or is that just set up?
Frank Burrell's team. Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't remember if it was 4th down.
I mean, is this Arkansas is minus Nolan Richardson beating? You remember who they beat, huh? To win it all?
Duke.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Just
Duke,
making sure.
Yeah.
And who they lost to the very next year?
UCLA.
Yeah.
Ed O'Bannon.
Yeah.
Very prominent name in college athletics history. If you're Arkansas, you got to go, son of a gun, man. I got to a game, and I got into the later innings with, a great chance to win it. I've got the Golden Spikes Award winner at shortstop, and he makes the wrong play. I got a kid that, has been hitting 350 and has played a great left field, and he makes a bad play. I got a first baseman that I trust, and he makes a bad play. What do you do? I don't. Those guys were fantastic players all year.
No, that's when that adds to the curse. Kind of we're just a tortured fan base.
I mean, 2013, I still think is the best LSU baseball team that didn't win a title, and they lost game 1 on 2 unearned runs. And who made the errors? Alex Bregman, who won the Brooks Wallace that year, and Ty Ross, who I think made 2 errors the whole season. But they lost the game. Well, I want Bregman playing shortstop every game you'll give him to me. And that year, I wanted Ty Ross behind the plate playing defense every game you give him to me. But in that game, just like, Aloy for Arkansas, man, how many times did you go into third base? Almost never, but in that case he did.
I've got a little dose of first class. When they gave him the Golden Spikes Award, he had to come to the stadium.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, the interaction between Van Horn, Aloy, and the LSU players.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty damn, that was cool. They respect the hell out of them. You got to think, that's their biggest hump, huh? Anderson had to be phenomenal, wasn't he? And that was before the wind was just howling in.
Yeah.
Okay? They respect the hell out of them, So and ultimately, not everybody can walk away with a championship. Very few can walk away with a championship. And when you put up the spikes or the helmet, whatever, I had a guy call me, play with my dad, in the 50s, Charlie. Still last week, I just want to tell you, Dad, I respect the hell. You have that level of respect. Yeah. When you leave the playing field. And I just thought that was with so much where that's lost in today. I think where it's good to see that you still have that level.
I agree, and everybody likes Dave Van Horn. I say everybody likes him. Everybody respects Dave Van Horn.
Guys with the pig hats was telling him to get fired after the game.
The comparisons to Mike Martin. Martin ran into some bad luck. Had enough talent, was a good enough coach. Won 2,000 games and just ran into bad luck, whatever. It just never happened for him. God rest his soul. But was he a great college baseball coach? Yes. Gosh,
I sat next to Stevenson in Wrigley Field. Yeah. He still had the Reds. That Skip was lucky. He was. Boy, damn.
Sorry. Sorry, boss. That's just how that went.
Oh,
We're brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you no matter what stage of your life you're at, whatever your income level is. They'll tailor-make a plan that's perfect for you and your family to achieve their financial goals. That's what they've done for us, a lifetime relationship with Coastal Capital Advisors. And Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376. Online, coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA SIPC. Back to wrap it up, live at lunch from Doe's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank.
They played in the 3-game series. Let's say they were the finals. Neutral. Everybody's available. What's the line?
Unless you beat them 4 out of 5. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Where we Jimmy? Where we tomorrow? Snows. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay. It's rolling.
This is Charles Sandegriff. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Snow Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway in Gonzales. Randy McKay with Scott Rabelais wrapping up LSU's trip to Omaha, and Wes Reynolds from VEASAN. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. By now you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Crowstead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Crowstead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem. Whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious, no criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Doe's Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Happy to report that Hunt Palmer made it back from Omaha. As soon as his plane landed, he Googled directions to his house. He'd been gone a little bit. We know a little bit about staying 2 weeks in Omaha. It's a long trek when you get back home. So
I figured he would fly back himself. I didn't think he'd need a plane. You know, he
probably
was
didn't.
Probably so happy.
Probably didn't. Great job by those guys up in Omaha, and Hunt did a real good job. And like I said, when you go up there and spend 2 weeks, it's a haul. You're kind of ready to come home, and the euphoria of it all wears off.
He was there 2 weeks.
No, not quite, but 12 days, I think, if you count the day he flew back. So it's a haul.
Thursday
man.
to Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a haul.
2 travel days. Yeah.
Yeah. Louisiana State Racing Commission held an emergency meeting this morning and approved the fairgrounds calendar for the fall. So we officially got that. They came to the agreement with Churchill Downs last week. November 20th through March 22nd will be a normal racing season at the fairgrounds. That made official a little while ago.
That's what we reported through our sources last week and or before that. But beyond that, it's up for grabs.
They have agreed to continue negotiating only. That's it. From this point, so they're going to race this fall. After
race
that,
this fall, the fall/spring.
Yeah.
And this season, and after that, you're gonna have to make some concessions. So you saw it's not like old races, Charlie. These it was a loophole to get them not traditional slots, but
30.
It's something about the sequencing that comes out. It's like the sequence of a historical race finish.
Yeah,
but they're slot machines.
Yeah, they have.
It's not like you're watching an old race and these little horses, that thing at Bellagio or something.
No, it's not.
No, it's slot machines.
Thanks to the folks here at Doe's for being our host today. Tomorrow, where it snows in Gonzales for Jimmy and Max. Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Henniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Congratulations are in order.
All right, you guys have a good one.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.
No problem.
50th anniversary.